Hey there, Gisela. So well done for continuing and getting this far in the course. Let's have a look at your technology essay and see what we can do. So my first point is that controversial is not quite the right word here. If something is controversial, it means it's slightly shocking to some people, that some people disapprove of it. Instead, we can say it's contentious or divisive, which means that there are multiple sides, multiple opinions on the same subject, but it doesn't necessarily mean that anybody finds it shocking, which controversial does. Controversial means that it like one side sees it as offensive. So we could say contentious. And if you're saying since the release of technological devices, we really should say has been, because it's perfect continuous, because these are still going on. Need to, I would always replace with the modal verb must. People must be familiar with, let's keep it descriptive, people must be familiar with emerging technological advances to perform better in life. Although it has been proven that over-reliance on technology can lead to reduced intellectual cognition. I like the word cognition, so I'm going to leave it there. But intellectual cognition, I would prefer something like intellectual potential or intellectual ability. But I like the word cognition, so I'm just going to leave it there. Multiple paragraphs. So we're using people and humans in the same sentence. So we could just do this. People ought to adapt to all the benefits that technology offers. Which necessitates, which makes necessary, that citizens must, I would say, continuously learn. Which necessitates that citizens must continually learn in order to take advantage of technology and utilize its services to perform better in life. We could say waiting in line at the bank, let's say for a simple transaction, can now use banking apps and present tense spend more time with their family. I would use hence here, and we don't need to capitalize after a comma. Delighted life, not quite correct, it's a bit informal. Awareness of technological benefits vastly improves the lives of many people, and for this reason all people ought to adapt to it. On the other hand, people could impair their brain capacity by frequently using technological devices. This is because basic mental processes are now performed through computers, cell phones, and calculators, among others. For example, nowadays it is commonly seen that people deal with basic mathematics calculations. Okay, mathematical calculations would be good, yeah. I'm not sure what this means. This example, I'm not quite sure. I can't really extract the meaning from it. We would need to be a bit more specific than this. Rather than talking about what is commonly seen in an example, we need to talk about a specific thing, something that can be quantified, something we can apply numbers to. Technological gadgetry, which causes a detrimental effect on mental acuity, I would say. In conclusion, humans must adapt and take advantage of all the benefits of technology, although it is necessary not to abuse its services, as this could damage mental capacity. In future, people ought to realize that it is necessary to use the brain if they want a full life, I would say. So I'm having to replace quite a lot of words just to make it a bit more precise. But all in all, your idea generation is fine. Like, you do understand the concept of the question. Because you have talked about adapting to technology, and you've also talked about the fact that it makes us intellectually weaker if we are over-dependent on it. But we need some stronger examples, really, because we need to talk about examples that can be quantified, or examples that can be absolute, they definitely happened. So things that have happened is what we really need to be looking for. Studies, statistics, professional opinion, events. These are quite abstract examples. They're quite imagination based, like, oh, if this happened in the past, now this would happen today. Whereas what we want to say is, in the past, this did happen. Now this happens. This is the difference. This is the time scale over which it happened. We need to be formalizing our examples. So with this one, the definition should be separate from the general statement. And we don't need a conclusion. We need a definition, a general statement, and then some detail. I prefer this method. So I think this needs to be cleared up a bit. The bar chart shows the projected number of visitors to London, Paris, Madrid, and Istanbul. The projected number of visitors by... oh no. Maybe tourists. The projected number of tourists that will visit London, Paris, Madrid, and Istanbul from Mexico, Canada, and the USA in 2018. So we have to remember that this is an estimation, it's a projection. So we stick to talking about what is expected to happen. On average, the USA is the country which will have more people. This is too many. words. Overall, on average, the USA is expected to have more people who travel than this should just be host countries. And it's not countries, it's cities. I'm struggling to extract the meaning from this. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what this sentence means. I'm going to have to leave that one. So once again, the clarity of this description is quite poor. It's quite difficult for me to extract the meaning from here. So this really should have been separated somewhat. So this is, because in order to correct this, it would take me quite a long time. So what I'll do instead is I'll give you a model answer that I wrote. And you can see how it's been separated to make sure that the answer is clear. But with these task 1 graphs, the point of it is to make the writing as clear as possible. Don't try to complicate it. Don't try to make it fancy. Just relay all the information in the graph. Process it in your mind, put it on paper, and make it factual and objective. Keep it simple, but keep it precise. So I'll send these over to you now. Maybe have a look through we do on our website, on the IELTS podcast website, we have model answers that I wrote for every single one of our questions. So if you ever need to have a look at what is expected, just Google it. Go on the website, prepare yourself, But I'll send this over to you now. Have a great day, Gisela, and I'll speak to you soon.